Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another recap video of our weekend Pro-Am tournament. I missed last week. I just ran into some time constraints, and as the time got later, I just didn't have a chance to do it. Apologies, but we are back with another results session, and we have a winner for the Pro category after two really strong weeks at the end here. John Hurd pulled ahead and actually won the Pro section of our event. He came in second last week and then followed it up with a ninth this last week. And there really weren't a lot of big scores in the first few weeks, so Johnny Hurd pulled ahead and won another tournament, which I think is a couple for him at least. Michael Berkowitz rounded out the top 10 as far as the pros, and the rest were down below. We had a tie for first. First time in a long time we've seen a bunch of ties, and that's not beyond the realm of possibility because of the kind of hands we saw. And if you'll notice, something really funny happened down below. A bunch of pros and amateurs were tied at 17th also. And honestly, I was just outside of this mix. I was just below this because I had screwed up one of these boards. But basically, I saw the cards of at least a couple of these guys, and we had pretty much the exact same results throughout because we did kind of the classic sometimes normal things, sometimes ridiculous stuff. And you'll see a lot of people with the same score. So when the hands are kind of similar, and there's not a lot of variance between, you're going to see closer bunch scores like this. So we can go all the way down here. The top score was relatively low, 73.76, which means there's a lot more of your average-ish results out there, not a lot of outliers. So let's take a look. And here you can see what I started with. I didn't have the best week. I didn't have the worst week either, but I was 63.7. And other than the second to last board, which I slipped a trick on, this is the score that you see probably like 4 or 5 other players tying with. But let's start with this first board. And this was a board where a lot of the pros went wrong. We upgraded this hand quite significantly, or at least I certainly did. You can tell this is only 18 points. So really the way you're supposed to bid this is you're supposed to open a club, partner will respond usually, and then you'll bid 2 no trump, and you've shown your 18 to 19 balanced. However, we sometimes in these robot tournaments, especially when we're trying to shoot for the higher ranks of scores, we upgrade a little bit. And here with Ace Jack 10 9 fifth, a lot of the pros opened 2 no trump, and if you do that, you're going to play 3 no trump, and you're going to be punished accordingly for your outside the box bid. Notice that on this hand, we could, if the club finesse wins, probably make 3 on a non-spade lead. However, the spade lead looks like it's going to be pretty automatic, and you'll see on this hand, it doesn't even matter if they don't lead a spade because they have the king of clubs as well. They can always kind of get to business at some point. But here, on any sort of spade lead, we are just cooked, right? We can't do anything. We're hoping the club finesse wins, but it doesn't, and now we're really down in this one. So 3 no trump down 2 if you were aggressive like the pros were. But when we look at the other tables, we'll see that the best score was just playing 3 clubs, right? Take a look at any random score here. The auction you're going to see on this one is 1 club, 1 no trump on your left, which is a shock, folks. When you open a club with this nice 18 count and your left-hand opponent overcalls a no trump, you kind of know what's happening, right? And especially now that partner bids 2 clubs, you should know it's your hand, but you should also know you're not going to play game, right? Partner has like about a maximum of like 6 points, right? So it's very unlikely you're going to be able to make a game. So when partner bids 2 clubs, you can actually pass, and you probably should on this hand. That 2 club bid is not strong, and I want you to recognize why. This is a common misconception for a lot of people. The strongest bid North can make is this one, double, right? In fact, partner's going to double, maybe not when we open in third seat, but especially when we open in other seats and you see a no trump overcall, they're going to double with 10 points or more, 11 points. Any sort of hand that they think is good, they're going to double with. So this 2 club bid is, in fact, and I can mouse over it over here and click on it, 6 to 10 points, 6 to 9 probably most likely. And it shows clubs. Honestly, I'm shocked that they only have 4, although that's the robot bidding for you. Usually you're supposed to see 5 cards in that suit here, but they've given you a nice pathway, so you should pass 2 clubs. Now let me dial down here. Those of you that played 3 clubs and only made 3, 95.6%. Amazing. And notice, you really didn't do too many weird things. Here is where you might have had a difference here. Now watch this. If you do pass, it's going to now go 2 hearts, pass, pass. you should definitely bid 3 clubs, right? You want to compete, but now they're going to bid 3 hearts, and now you're just likely to sit back and defend with this hand, which you guys, if you did this, even if you don't double, I don't know if double's not that unreasonable. Just recognize, the risk you're taking here, especially with East bidding 3 hearts. Kind of weird knowing they have no points. They have some sort of shape going on over here that allowed them to do that. So even if you don't double it, you're getting 86.2%. So here, just being normal is being very well served on this particular hand. You win if you bid 3 clubs. You don't need to, and I would likely have passed. But 3 clubs, 3 clubs should show a lot of extra values in clubs, by the way. At least, let's see. Did they take it as that? Let's see. Yeah, okay, good. So 3 clubs is probably the perfect bid, right? You've described your hand to partner. However, likely not necessary because the likelihood of game is very low. But here you win almost all the match points just by being super normal, because a bunch of us ridiculous pros were sitting back and opening 2-no trump like this madman did here. So here, bad score for the first one. The second one, 7-no trump was the winner. And look at 95.6 of the people doing it. Here's the auction I had at my table. Notice that we have 24 points. However, in a situation like this hand just becomes slightly, it is never going to be a bad 24, but you're trying to decide whether you want to upgrade it, open 2 clubs and rebid 3 now because it's so chunky and huge, and you basically have 3, 5, 7 tricks in your own hand, maybe an 8th and that 10 of hearts, but you're never going to need it because the auction starts 2 clubs. And partner actually makes one of the best bids that's going to get you all the information you need. They jump to 3 diamonds, which is pretty normal for the robot, as it should be for you. This 3 diamond bid just shows, it should show exactly this when you do this. This is a very nice agreement that the robot has because it's a standard. 8 or more total points and a good, usually 6-card suit, but could be only 5, with 2 of the top 3 honors. Notice how important it is. If I know that, even though I'm going to get confirmation in a second, all I needed to do was key card, right? And watch how good it is, right? When we get to key card in diamonds, folks, we get to discover the king and the queen of diamonds right away, right? It's part of our structure, or at least we'll get to ask about it afterwards, right? So here, we are going to get to key card from the side that has all the values, and then we're going to have enough information to make our decision. So when we key card, we bid 4-no trump. Our partner bids 5 diamonds, which for the robot, remember, they flip-flop those first 2 responses. So this is 1 or 4 for them. So now here's what I'm thinking in my head. I have 4 key cards myself. My partner has shown the 5th, which is the king of diamonds. Now I get to find out about the queen, and I ask by bidding 5 hearts. And 5 hearts says, hey, partner, do you have the queen of trump, right? I need to make sure we have that so that we can play Grand Slam if we're supposed to. And here, partner bids 5-no trump, which says, hey, I have the queen of that suit because I've committed us here. I've bid 5-no trump. They could also have bid 6 diamonds, but they are allowing us to do something as well. And I have no lower kings, right? So at this point, we know they have king, queen, likely 6th of diamonds. And we can see pathways to a whole bunch of extra tricks. We could be getting rid of a heart by roughing it. We can get rid of our spades and our club if they have 6 of them. So here this looks like we are destined to play at least small slam. But at this point, once you get this information, if you just start counting your tricks, and let's assume you're getting 6 diamonds, right? You get 6 diamonds. You get 2 clubs for 8. You get 4 hearts for 12 and the ace of spades for 13. That sounds like it's pretty decent as far as a number to expect here. And you might not get all 4 hearts, but you might find partner with another card that's useful. Like, I don't know, it could be the king of spades. Remember, partner has to have at least 8 points. They're supposed to have something outside of their 6 or 5 points they've shown in diamonds, right? So they're supposed to have a card out there as well. So that's what you should take them for. Really, partner just had a ridiculously shapely hand, which, to be honest, was just as good for us, right? So here we end up with the perfect hand for this, and we're just going to get to pitch away any sort of losers that they have over in that dummy and take 13 tricks. Easy, 95.6%. Not easy, to be honest. But let's take a look at the scores and just show you when just being normal still gets you a pretty good score, right? Here, 7 diamonds, very normal to bid that. A little safer as well, right? Because now you're not worried about taking all of your tricks. 87.9%. So that is really your safest spot, right? So here, those of you that went for safety, still 87.9. Those of you that just bid 6, 65.1%, right? So let this be a lesson to you. You do not have to bid a grand slam to get a good score, right? If you just bid 6, no trump on this one, you get 65.1. Here's where the scores go a little bit downhill. You're still getting 30.9 for 6 diamonds, but really, if you're going to play diamonds, you should play in grand slam. Because you just have, now you have the ability to maybe rough cards that you wouldn't have had in no trump, so you have other pathways to more tricks, right? So here, 7 no trump was the winner, but honestly, anywhere down to 6 no trump was still going to get you a really good score. So here, bidding your slam and close to the highest level is going to get you even an above average score, basically. Okay. Let's take a look at my table again, and I'll show you what I did on board 3, which was a below average score. I played 2 hearts making 2, and I was pretty sure I could have made more on this as I was playing it, but let's take a peek at not only the auction, but the rest of this board from other players' perspectives as well. So here's top pro Chris Lankin playing this board. Looks like the same auction that pretty much all of us would have on this board. We open a club, obviously. When we're 3-3, remember, we always open clubs. And that's just so when we open diamonds, we're just almost always going to have 4 of that suit. So we open 1 club, and it goes 1 diamond overcall, double by partner, which should be 4 hearts at least and 4 spades. And as it goes 2 diamonds on our right, which is the normal raise that every robot made, we should just bid 2 hearts with this hand. Remember, you've already opened the bidding. You're just going to play 2 hearts, and it's going to go all pass from there. And let's take a look at the play, though. This is really, only a few people were able to make 3 on this hand. And the Jack of Hearts was the lead we saw at each of the tables, right? So it goes Jack. We're very surprised to find a 9-card fit over there. And we now will see Chris draw the second round of trump, right? Now all the trumps are gone, and we see a spade return, which he ducks around to that jack, and it goes king to your left. And now it's kind of just over here. He's going to play a couple of spades. In fact, he just claims here. And take a look. Right? He knows for sure that once he pitches on this one, take a look. If he pitches a club on a spade, he's doing nothing more, right? He's not getting any extra tricks here. Right? Because he's pitching down to the same thing he has on this side of the table, which is a maximum of those numbers of losers. And if he pitches a diamond, which he's going to do normally because he knows clubs isn't going to provide any extra, he is now going to just lose 1 diamond, which he was always going to lose anyway, right? So the pitch doesn't really do him any good. So he knows he's going to lose 2 more clubs and the ace of diamonds, so he just claims. My table, I did the exact same thing, right? We have the same exact auction. We'll notice that it went Jack of Hearts. There it goes. Spade over. Once that spade finesse loses, I played a few more tricks here, but at this point, we have a chance maybe, but now they get to their clubs, and there you go, right? They've taken their tricks. That's all we can make is 2. I'm interested to see, though, the people that did make 3, how did it go, right? Here's the same auction, right? Jack of Hearts, ace. If we play a low diamond originally, ha! All right, we figured it out. We figured it out, folks. The diamond play gets it done because then they cash they plunk their king of spades down on the table, which is the only way they're not ever getting it. So there you go, making 3. Well done. It's important to draw your trump on this one, folks. It really is, especially because you have losers in a lot of the suits, right? So here you don't necessarily want to open up any risk at all. So drawing trump right away is usually the best pathway, right? Get rid of it all, and then you have plenty of time to mess around in those other suits. And here, unfortunately, if you choose not to draw trump and play a diamond, you're going to see them just give you an extra trick as a Christmas present. So congrats. That was worth 88.9%. Not too shabby. Let's go to number 4 and see what happened there. Here, I played just 2 no trump. And for me, and it's important to recognize, we're in the balancing seat, but we should still keep our normal 15 to 18 no trump range in the balancing seat at the 2 level. At the 1 level, it's more like 11 to 15 or 11 to 14. At the 2 level, it should still be your garden variety 15 to 18. The robot plays a little wider, 14 to 18. Just fine. We should play all our systems on. So this should have been a very normal auction at most tables. And we just end up playing 2-no trump. And we have the perfect spade count on the opening lead, by the way. Once they lead a heart, we just know that righty has 0 spades, right? And we also know we can create at least one extra spade trick by leading towards that queen of spades at some point, right? But here, after this heart lead, it's pretty devastating to us, to be honest. Especially if they just fire hearts, it's rough for us. But here, they exit a club for some reason, which is amazing for us, right? We know this is good because we are kind of worried about hearts for sure on this hand, especially they've gotten up to such a good lead. They didn't pursue that. So now it's time to see what we can do as far as getting to our contract. Now, we have one trick in the books, and now we're just looking at what we have outside of that. Here, it's not too sexy of a number, right? We have 2 clubs for 3. We have a diamond for 4, the ace of hearts for 5, and the ace of spades for 6. As discussed, we can set up a spade trick over there, but really, our source of tricks is in diamonds if we can set that up. So here, I actually played a low diamond, and I just ducked it, right? And I'm hoping to either get some sort of beneficial return that gives me some time, maybe a spade, to be honest. That's really what I'm hoping for. Or a club return can't be that terrible, and a diamond return would certainly be amazing. But here, they actually do well again, and now is where we make a little hold-up play. We really want to disrupt communication on this particular hand because now they've gotten off to their most threatening spot. And what do they do for us? Well, they hook us up with a little bit of timing on this hand. And here's what we're going to do with it, folks. We're going to win that queen of clubs and dummy. And notice we might think we're getting rid of an entry, but we know the queen of spades is always an entry over there, right? So now it's going to go diamond to the ace. Are they breaking? Yes, they are. So let's set up those diamonds while we still have hearts and every other suit stopped. And here comes a heart back, setting up the suit. But now if we're counting left-hand opponent's hand, right, we know they started with 6 spades. All they have left is spades. So at this point, I just played a low spade, right? And now if they play low, I'm going to play the queen. If they hop up like they did, now I'm going to play the queen the second time. And I'm going to take those diamonds and then that ace of clubs. So here's how that previous trick ends. All those diamonds are good, and I just have a nice ace of clubs. I mean, all the clubs are good now as well. So here, just playing 2-no trump, making 2 was 57%. At the other tables, I would guess, yeah, some difference here. 3 diamonds was a possibility. And that's if you double. Doubling here, you don't have to double because you have a normal no-trump bid. And those of you that decided to defend 2 spades, you did the best. Look at this. The defending of 2 spades, just sitting back and taking your plus score this way, which honestly I think is just a little bit timid. I think you should be worried about missing a game. Because think about it, there are a lot of 10 and 11 counts that partner has that they never get to bid with over 2 spades. So you can't really let this go unchallenged, even though, as you can see, you did a really good job of defending and crushed this because your right-hand opponent tabled the void opposite their partner. How often is that going to happen? Probably not that often. But here, very good job. If you did pass and defend, you got a huge reward. Whereas just bidding no trump, you're either making 2 or some of these players made 3. Congratulations, guys. Here's Johnny Hurd. Let's see what he did to make 3. Went hard. He ducked the first one, as we did at our table. Club back. Here comes a diamond. He led the 4, though. I don't know if that makes any difference. There's a club back. And he won in his hand. He's preserving the diamond entry right off the bat. And now, or excuse me, the club entry for the diamonds. And now he just plays diamond. And then he just gets to take more spades. Let me take a look. Now he takes that 5 of spades because left-hand opponent hung on to their hearts. So making 3 for plus 150, 79.4. But again, just sitting back and making 2 is 57%. And if you chose to defend, again, I think you're losing out in the long run in those spots if you choose to defend this hand, but it worked out really well for you score-wise on this one. All right, let's look at board 5 now. I just played 6 no trump. Right, another slam hand. And for those of you that have not heard of it yet, on the site right now is a great full complete lesson about slam bidding, and a live actual practice session will be conducted on April 27th, which is Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. It's part of a massive new lesson package that I've put out there, and it is a really good way to kind of practice these auctions that you don't see in the wild too often. And here's one of them. we have a 2-club opener for sure, right? We have 21 high card points, but we have a 6-card heart suit, and really, if you count losers on this hand, we're close to within a trick and a half of game in our own hand. The really weird part of this is, what do we do next after we open 2 clubs? I would guess most of you bid 2 hearts, which is the right thing to do. You're supposed to show hearts on this hand. But I chose to bid 2 no trump and just be kind of weird here, especially because I knew board 3 and board 1 were kind of misses for me, so I was swinging a little bit here. So instead of bidding 2 hearts, which is normal, I bid 2 no trump. My partner bid Stamen, and I will tell you this. If you have concealed a 6-card major to open no trump, you've already gone way beyond the normal behavior. So here, you're best off just compounding it by denying a 4-card major entirely, because most of the time, with the robots especially, and a lot of times in real life, you'll see the opponents just lead that suit for you, right? So here, if you're going to really obscure the robots, go all in like I did here, and it didn't really make a huge difference. Once you open 2 clubs and rebid 2 no, partner's going to drive to slam, and fortunately for me, that correct slam was 6 no trump. So I got to play 6 no trump on this, and let's see what everyone else did as far as their results on this. 6 no trump, clearly the best score, but you'll see most people are just bidding hearts, right? And then when partner bids diamonds, 3 no trump, 6 no trump, right? So you're going to get to 6 no trump either way, and the play is going to be relatively straightforward, right? You're going to see the opening lead of the 2 of clubs. And sorry, let me just confirm that with the normal auction. So here's your normal auction. Good. They led the same thing at both tables. And now it's just a question of how are you going to take 12 tricks, right? So here, our winner count, when we start with it, is we have 3 club winners. We have 2 diamonds for 5, 2 spades for 7, 2 hearts for 9. That is an ugly number to be starting with when you're playing 6 no trump. You need extra tricks, and the only place you're going to get enough extra tricks is what? It's in that heart suit. So my first play on this one was just to duck a heart. 9 of hearts out of my hand. I want to see honors like this for sure, and when I see that jack overtake, I'm a little worried, but then they just lead the queen of hearts. Because of the way my auction went, guys, they don't think I have hearts. So when they lead the queen of hearts, all is revealed. Let's see how some other players played this hand, and whether or not they ducked heart early or did something else, maybe lead towards it and take a finesse as well as a possibility. So let's take a peek. I'm always proud when I had the same auction Brad had. Brad chose the exact same route. He actually did not show the heart suit, and let's see if he played it the same way it went. Club, and he played the king of hearts first. So he just played hearts in this manner. He knows they have to be 3-3 to make it, so might as well play the ace and king. Here's Michael Berkowitz, I think, who's right above him. Mikey had the more normal auction. Michael, excuse me. and then went club, and yeah, he ducked a heart initially as well. Basically, what it comes down to, if you're looking for 12 tricks, the only way you're getting it is if you're getting a reasonable break in hearts. So no matter what way you slice it, if they're 3-3, you're making. If not, you're going down. Maybe not just one, maybe several. So here, interesting fun that I have the same auction as Brad Moss, but Michael does it the very traditional way and basically has the same exact result. So more than one pathway to the top of the mountain. Just make sure you make it once you get there if it's possible. All right, let's see board 6 here. So here's a different version of what we saw earlier, which is pretty fun. We did see an auction earlier where it went a club, a diamond, and partner got to double, which would always be 4 hearts and 4 spades. So when it goes a club, a diamond, 1 spade, we just know partner has 4 or more spades. That's all, right? It tends to deny 4 hearts and 4 spades as well, but here it doesn't show 5 cards, right? The only time we show 5 with our response at the 1 level is when it goes 1 club, 1 heart, right? If it went 1 club, 1 heart, now the spade bid would be 5 plus. Every other time it's just 4. And honestly, once partner bids 1 spade, we know we belong in game. We also know we have a fit, so we bid 4 spades. So I see so many people rebid 2 no trump, and I would guess if I went into the results, I would see a lot of people doing that with this sort of hand. But here, you have a spade fit. Don't deny that, right? Jump to whatever level makes the most sense, and 16 to 18 would be 3 spades, but we have more than that because we have a shortness point, right? We have a doubleton club. And our spade suit is quite spectacular as well. Not that we need strength, we just need the number to have a fit, and 4 spades is our destination. And when we play it there, folks, we are just destined to lose 2 tricks, right? We have to lose the diamond and the club. right? Nothing we can do about it. The diamond, the key thing you have to get right on this lead, folks, is on this lead, we know that left-hand opponent overcalled diamonds. So when we see a singleton get led, we have to jump up with the ace, right? That's the difference between making 5 and maybe making 1 less, because if you decide to take a finesse, which you normally would, but you have the correct information to know that if you do that, they're going to ruff the next diamond and you can't let that happen. So you're going to lose a diamond on this. You know that. Lose it later, because now you don't lose a ruff along with it. So here it's hop up ace of diamonds, and then it is draw trump, because we know those diamonds are getting roughed. Draw trump to completion, and now you can do whatever the heck you want. I played diamonds here just to set up my tricks, and you'll notice they waited till the last possible moment and then led the... Oh, sorry, they didn't even lead the king of clubs here, but here it doesn't matter. The pitch in that side of the table makes no difference whatsoever. We always have to surrender a club, and you'll notice when we get over to the other tables, this would be the result everywhere. Some cowboy decided to play 3-note trump. That could have been, and really should have been, a terrible disaster for you, but you get lucky to be able to make 5. A heart lead would just destroy this contract, but you get a spade lead instead. So here, very important to play spades, first of all. And also, you might even miss a slam sometimes if you bid 2-no rather than 4 spades, because partner's never going to think you have a fit. Here, describe your hand the best way you can, and maybe you'll get to play better contracts than just 4 or 3-no. All right, let's see these last 2 boards here. Board 7 was my downfall here. You can take an extra trick on this one, I believe, if you get everything right. But let's take a look here. A very normal auction if you upgrade the south player's hand. I upgraded the south player's hand to open a no trump. It's not perfectly balanced, but it is a very good 14. And here I thought opening a no trump would just be the easiest way to, and the most efficient way to bid this hand. And it's very simple from there. It goes a no trump, 4 diamonds, 4 hearts, all check, right? So we are out of this auction. On this hand, you get an opening lead of the king of clubs. And from this point forward, I only took 11 tricks total. There is a pathway to 12, and let me show you how some of the other players got there. Let's go back to our buddy Brad Moss here, and he gets the same lead, the same auction as well. He opened, and I'll dial you back to that here. He opened a no trump as well. I went 4 diamonds, 4 hearts, and we're playing it there. So king of clubs, rough, spade to the ace, and now we're taking a deep heart finesse, right? So 10 of hearts and losing to the king. Now we know we can take a heart finesse later for that jack, right? Now that is a marked position. And at this point, we take that finesse, and then the ace of hearts, the queen of hearts, and now we just basically need diamonds to break to take the rest, and they do, and that is 12 tricks. I can't even remember what the heck happened at my table. I took some sort of weird line and ended up not being able to take another heart finesse. So here, bad on me. Pretty simple, straightforward though. That's how you're going to take this finesse, and anybody that made 6 was taking this exact same finesse. Maybe not the same auction, right? But finessing for that jack, figuring it out, and taking advantage of that information afterwards. So that would get you 83% on that board. And the last board was just a kind of, if we can post this on here, where's that board? There it is. The auction was pretty straightforward. North opens a spade. We bid 2 clubs with our hand, game forcing. Partner bids 2 diamonds. We bid 2 no trump. And the reason we're bidding 2 no trump and not 2 hearts is partner denies 4 hearts here, right? They would have shown a 4-card heart suit before diamond suit anyway. And we have a balanced hand, and we also have extras, right? If we wanted to show a minimum, we would jump to 3-no trump. Here, 2-no trump is just a slower approach to game, so it's going to just show a better hand in general. So, and that's what we want to show with our kind of unknown quality 16, even though this is not the best 16. And partner hasn't shown any sort of great extra values here, and they continue to kind of show their minimum by bidding 3-no trump directly over 2-no trump. So here we're just playing 3-no trump basically from our side of the table. Let's take a look at some other auctions maybe. John Hurd took a non-traditional route here just by bombing 3-no trump. Again, not the preferred method, but I think he's just trying to gain in the auction here by doing something a little bit odd. And watch how this gets played from this point. The opening lead is a heart, and let's just make sure, what was the opening lead at my table? Okay, so the same auction, or sorry, a different auction produces the same exact. So here is a heart lead, and he's one of the few that was able to make 6. So he wins the heart. And we're just going to set up diamonds and recognize, folks, when you count your winners, you have a whole bunch of them on this hand, especially when you set up diamonds, you have at least 3 extra winners. And that's how you decide what suit you're going to play first. What suit's going to provide the most extra tricks? Well, at the beginning of this hand, you have 0 diamond winners, and now after this trick, you have 3. And at this point, Johnny never lost a card, right? He saw a heart come back. He played diamonds, cashed some hearts, and easy pitches for him. He'll just pitch spades from the dummy. And now all he's waiting for is either someone to screw up their spade position or someone to pitch a club, right? He hasn't gotten exactly what he needs just yet. I'm wondering, how did he? Did they false card with the jack of clubs over here? Yes, they did. How does John know this stuff? And not that he knows it. He can't expect this to happen, but this continually is happening for him. They false card with the jack of clubs, and now he just knows he has winners here. Wow. That's crazy. You see a few other players. I would guess they had similar stuff because it doesn't look like that line is really going to produce, anything but that play. Oh, sorry. They let a club on this one. And then there's the diamond. Do they just always do this? Let's take a look. I'm fascinated by the robot insanity. I mean, okay, that was just their standard play on this one. So if you found that, great. If not, if you were just a mere mortal like myself and the rest of the 90% of us that played 3-0 and made 5, you get 57. If you have some sort of weird play like that, you get 98.2. I don't know how to describe that other than frustrating for me to only get 57 because of that. But I'm sure I'm with a lot of you in the same boat. But anything over 50 is good, folks. That's a happy spot. And here, finally had a reasonable week. I've been on a little bit of a downslide here, but once again, John Hurd, as he proved on that last board, worthy of champion level status and another champion for the month. We will start another month this week. And don't forget, if you sign up on Thursday, you might not get in, right? But you'll be in the following week. So you only need to sign up once, and I will throw you in the tournament. So if you signed up like on Thursday a little bit later in the morning or afternoon, you might not get in, but don't worry, you'll be there next week. And I will see you next week for another recap video. Thanks a lot for joining, guys, and playing in this weekly Pro-Am. I'll see you next time.